And now for your weekly dose of metal. Here are your hosts, Morgan Danielle and Luco Blaze on The Metal Experience.
Woo! All right, we just heard Rapture, which is the first single from Product of Hate's as yet untitled second album, Morgan tells me. And then we heard, ooh, this one's a good one, Celestial Insertion by Predator. The band Predator.
Suggestive.
That's such a great death metal title.
I am Luco Blaze with Morgan Danielle, and we are rocking out for the second time only. I feel like it's been too long.
It has.
The second time, Faces of the Bog. Why don't you guys go ahead and reintroduce yourselves to the Metal Experience world? What you do in the band? Who's missing tonight?
Paul Bradfield, our bassist and vocalist, is newly titled vocalist, is missing. And I'm Trey. I play guitar and do the clean vocals.
And I'm Danny, playing drums still.
And I'm Mark. I just joined the band recently, and I play guitar also.
But Mark, you've been with us before. What was the other band you were in?
I was formerly in the now defunct Taken by the Sun. So yeah, I was here a few years ago with those guys.
And Morgan, when was the last time Faces of the Bog was on?
January 22nd, 2012.
It's been a couple of years.
A little bit.
When was the last time Taken by the Sun was on?
February 4th, 2014.
Oh my gosh.
What was it, February 4th? What was the occasion? Because I remember you brought me like a Metal Edge magazine. You're like, happy birthday.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was Metal Hammer did this cover where they did was it Star Wars using all metal singers?
It
or
was
something
Kill
like that?
Switch, right? Kill Switch is
I
on
don't
that
remember.
one?
I just
There's a
remember,
yeah.
but it was like happy birthday. I'm like, wait a second, February though.
My birthday was in February.
I don't know if
Who
it
was
was.
your
I don't know if it was Happy Birthday. I just thought it would be interesting to talk about.
right.
It was a pretty excellent cover that they did, and so yeah. And there was a magazine store around the corner from where the old Metal Experience.
Headquarters.
Yeah, it was. So I was like, this will be a thing to do. So.
The old
I
window.
liked it. He came with topics prepared, and it made for a good show.
Fuck yeah. What'd you bring tonight?
Nothing.
That's the problem. Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
Well, so it's been a couple of years since you guys have been on. What have you guys been up to in the last 4 to 6 years?
We finally finished the album we were working on for damn near 5 years. We recorded that at Electrical Audio with Sanford Parker and put that out on CD and digital release. I believe that was September 2016.
Sounds about
Does
right.
that sound about right? No, actually, I think that was September 2015, wasn't it? And then the vinyl came out a year later. No, you're right, 2016, and then the vinyl came out a year later in 2017. We ended up getting picked up by DHU Records, label out of Amsterdam, and Robert Black, kind soul that he was
awesome.
good enough to take us on and print vinyl for us. So we got that and released that just about a year ago now, and we played a bunch of shows out of town, and we're kind of settling down to write a new one now with a new member. So,
And how exactly did you get hooked up with a label in Amsterdam?
the internet's a wonderful thing.
Also, Mother Crone, the guys from Mother Crone really helped out. We did a little tour with them. Or they were doing a tour. We kind of jumped on one show in Minneapolis. And on the way back, we were heading back to Chicago. We were going to do another show with them in Chicago. And they were a little bit ahead of us, and their van broke down. So they hit us up and like, hey, where you guys at? We're like, we're on this exit. Okay, you guys are ahead of us. We stopped by and ended up picking them up and crammed them in with some of their gear in Trey's pickup truck. There was like...
Yeah, we were just using a Dodge Ram because they told us just to bring like drums and then like guitar heads, and then we could use all the cabs from them, and then the guys from Witch Den, which were nice enough to let us use some of their stuff. And yeah, so we didn't have like a full trailer, so when we had to pack 7 people and 2 bands worth of gear into a fucking Dodge Ram.
Yeah, with one person in the back. We're with the gear.
Oh, that's right.
Joe from
Yeah,
Mother
the
Crone
guitar
was
player.
shoved in the back.
That guy's a fucking Viking, man.
Yeah.
It was like 100 degrees.
It was
too,
hot.
and he's
We
back
like
there
pulled
just
over, opened the door.
meditating,
Yeah, are you good? Yeah, I'm good. Sweating his ass off.
going to his happy place back there, man.
Yeah, and then we showed up in town late for our show, dropped them off, had to go back and grab the rest of our gear because we only had some of our gear, and then showed up and we were late for our show and then rocked it out. But then they kind of introduced us to Robert Black, and they were signed with DHU already, and kind of helped us out with that.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
So when you guys released Ego Death, was that through them, or did you guys release it first and then they had a copy of it?
No, we kind of did our own self-release right off the bat. Nobody knew who the hell we were, and nobody still knows who the hell we are. But no, we didn't have any interest from anybody from anywhere at that point, so we just kind of figured we'd just use our own money and print up a CD and do a digital release and kind of see where it went from there. And, you know, I don't know, things happening as they did, you know, here we sit, so.
The album artwork for Ego Death is very interesting and intricate. Who designed this, and what is this of? Who is this man on the front here with this waterfall eye?
That's a very psychedelic themed drawing there, which kind of fits the theme of the record. That was drawn up by a man named Tony Mitty. He's actually done some artwork for Witch Den as well up in Minneapolis, and I think there's a couple other bands. It's getting away from me right now who they were, but the guy's super talented. So,
And he did everything on here from the CD artwork to the stuff in the back underneath them?
yes, yeah, all of that was him. I think the only thing he didn't do was just the layout of the actual CD itself, like where everything's placed. And Mark, our old guitar player, did that. So.
Sweet.
Well, let's play a track. The first track that you guys want to play tonight off of Ego Death will be what?
I don't know. What do you guys want to do? We did not discuss this prior. We're very unprepared. Go with Weaver.
Jared
All right.
Weaver?
We'll talk about it when we get back in, but here's the first track that the band wants to play tonight, The Weaver by Faces of the Bug.
We are Conniption, and I am Michael Brigham.
I'm Bill House.
Andy Martin.
Cody Juke.
And you're listening to The Metal Experience.
All right, that was The Weaver by Faces of the Bog. What is The Weaver about? Give me the skinny.
The person who wrote that song isn't here.
Oh, come on. How do you interpret the music, the songs?
I can give you kind of rough ideas. The whole album's kind of it's a concept. Basically, like starting off with like, things are great, and then there's like this major loss, and this internal struggle trying to, figure out what the hell's wrong with your life and how to fix it, and then you go through this like cleansing of self, kind of looking in the mirror, realizing that like kind of you're to blame for what's going on, and and then like The Weaver is the part of the album where things start to kind of, I know it doesn't sound like it when you listen to the song, but it's actually the turning of the tide. It starts to turn towards a more positive kind of realization that hey, things are on the mend, and we're moving in a better direction.
We should have worked our way into it.
So that's a hard concept to go unless you're going to play that whole thing front to back, and I don't know if you got 52 minutes worth of music allotted for.
Yeah, we totally do. That's what we're here for. Rock out some music, right?
And then they can rip it off the internet here and not buy.
So I'm
the
pretty
album.
sure I found pictures of the Beat Kitchen show because I have a picture of on the wall there was a sticker, and it was a holographic sticker that said "Now with more dog barks." And all I'm seeing is Hot
Nobody
Dang,
knew the world needed that.
You Guys, and Legions of Rom.
I have something here that says Undying Allegiance.
So I think we got there as they had ended because
we don't have any
work
pictures
schedule
of
and us
Undying.
getting. No, I don't have any pictures of them, but for sure it was Hot Dang, Legions of Rom, and You Guys because I have a couple pictures of you guys too
And that
on
was
here.
Saturday, January 23rd, 2016.
Holy
An
shit!
$8 show at the Beat Kitchen.
Yes.
And it was worth every dollar.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome.
That's what we're worth. $8.
$8.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
It's our going rate.
American dollars.
If anybody wants to hire us, $8 fucking bucks.
So you said you also released this same CD on vinyl, right?
Yes, correct.
So do you still have the vinyls, or you guys had like a limited run? What's the deal?
I believe there were 300 pressed. The majority of those stayed overseas with the label. And we have about probably 20, 25 of those here in the States for sale still. I think we had 50 to start off. Well, I think we started off with 50, and then we bought another 25 from him because we ran out. And so I think we have 25 or 30 still left in the States for sale online at our Bandcamp and at shows.
So get on it.
That's fucking awesome. Vinyl. So they were actually printed overseas?
Yeah. From what I hear,
So
most
they're-
vinyl is pressed overseas.
Oh, really?
So that's what he told me anyway.
So they're imports.
Yeah.
I thought there was like 3 companies in the
I
U.S.
heard
that like
two. One was in New York.
I think that's
and-
why a lot of it's going overseas is because it's hard. The factories here are full up and can't meet the demand. So I think more of it goes.
Like everyone's trying, and there's such like a huge
waiting
waiting
list?
list for
Yeah.
vinyl or something to get it printed.
It
What
takes
was it?
a long time.
New York and
I don't remember where the other one was. I just remember New York being
just
on the list.
some band was saying, we looked into getting vinyl. And there's only 2 places in the U.S. that actually still press vinyl.
Yeah.
and like the waiting list is
It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
insane.
And no one wants to build a new factory because everyone's convinced it's a fad. So you build a new factory in 5 years, it isn't cool anymore to have vinyl. And what did you do? So
What did you do? All my money.
It's gone.
that's why hipsters are trying to make cassette tapes a thing because everyone's got cassette tapes.
Oh.
Yeah, everyone has cassette tapes, but no one has a cassette player.
I still have my Walkman. It may need new batteries, but it still has a Cannibal Corpse tape in it. So
That's so
Nice.
excellent.
in my
You still have the
nightstand.
tape player in the bathroom too.
And the tape player in the bathroom.
That's nice.
Nice.
That I'm
So-
also going to be listening to Ego Death in while I
Nice.
shower.
Nice.
That's where I listen to.
Try to keep your hands off yourself.
Do you have a tape in your
Good
tape
luck
player in
with
the
that.
bathrooms? Or what,
Yeah,
what is
CD,
it?
CD tape player. I
But
don't know.
is there like a cassette in there right now in the
They'll
tape
send you
player?
a picture
Um,
to your Facebook page.
They're I
Like
think
the
it's
one
a-
tape you've been listening to for 10 years now?
It's like I think it's a Mountain Grave tape.
Okay, all right.
The band Mountain Grave from Indiana.
All right, okay.
They came out with tapes, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, hook it up!"
Yeah, tape player,
And I
yeah,
think it's been in the tape player for probably like 3 years.
There we go.
Since I've gotten it. Yeah, it's been in
Didn't
there.
we get some tapes too?
Yeah, we
Like,
did.
some
We do have
Italy?
cassettes.
Like I don't know, like he
15,
asked us to
20 of
press
them we
him,
got?
and then like he started like doing the horse trading thing. Like we had to give him shirts or something like that. It was fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
Man.
But we do have
it was
some-
weird.
we-
They're laying around somewhere, but I don't
Yeah.
think we were gonna sell them.
We sold a couple. I remember selling one. Yeah.
I never worked a merch booth. I'm a lazy shit. So.
That's Paul.
Yo, you boys
that's
got
Paul's
tapes.
business.
And plus Paul's very particular about how the Mirth Booch is Mirth Booch.
The meth
Merch
booth.
The meth booth.
is run.
What does Paul require of the merch
Order,
booth?
just a lot of order.
That's reasonable. You see some bands' merch tables like, what do you want me to buy your stuff, or
Yeah.
it's just
I'm like that with ours.
Okay,
I
yeah.
I have to have things in a certain way, and
But
if he
the thing
starts
is-
doing it, I'm just like.
We give it away for
Go
free,
away.
so it's like Morgan. It's on the table. It's on the table. Anyone can
To
take
me,
it.
it's about presentation, and everything has to be
No,
seen
that's
in a
legit,
certain
yeah.
way, and I get very OCD about it.
So usually it
But
ends
most
with,
of the time, I kick him away, going, "Get the fuck away
she'll
from
usually
me!
yell at me, and
I'm
I'll
done. You're messing this
Step
shit
away
up."
from the merch table.
I
I'm
can't
just
do
trying to
it.
help her. Like here's another
He
one.
does it, but it's like too much stuff
But
at
it's
once,
like,
and I have to
get the
process what we
fuck outta
have.
here.
It's like I take a mental inventory as we go.
Yeah, I usually
And then
get,
I just go grab a beer, and I'm like, all right, let her do her thing.
Yep.
I usually get kicked out of the merch booth. Like Paul sees me trying to sell something, and I'm just like throwing shit everywhere, trying to find because I don't know where anything's at.
Yeah.
because I'm never back there. But if I see somebody looking, I'll jump back there, and then he's like, "Oh shit!" And he'll have to run over there. He's like, "All right, I gotta get the fuck out of here."
Yeah,
So-
all right, yeah, take a peek back there, and I'm like, Paul, get back here quick. I don't know what anything we're selling for. I gotta look for like, how much is that? I don't know.
Paul's definitely the business end of the band.
it's all $6. Everything is $6.
It's all $8. Everything's
It's our worth,
$8.
yes. Correct. That's our correct worth. Yep.
Let's really quick rewind back in time and refresh our memory. How is Faces of the Bog? Where did you guys get your name from?
Well, we fought over it for a really long time, and then we just got tired of arguing, and I think the bog was proposed at first, right?
Right.
Just the bog.
Yeah, I think the ball came out, which is swampy, sludgy. We're like, all right, that's cool, and then kind of wanted to add on to it. And I think old Mark was talking about like looking
Old-
at faces at
old
like
Mark.
Yeah.
My predecessor, Mark. So, yeah.
About something with like tripping and like looking at tables at the wood grain and like seeing faces or like just images, and I don't know, somehow I think we just kind of got faces out of that somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where it came from. And then we were all just like, yeah, God, we got a show like in a week. We need a fucking name. So, but actually, we found out later on that like like in Polish, bog is God. So like, on a lot of Polish websites, they're calling us Faces of the God, which
It's pretty cool.
is kind
Whatever.
of cool
Yeah.
sounding.
I'll
so
take it.
It's like, yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll go with that.
That's what we meant to do that.
Yeah.
Totally incidental, but happy little accident. Bob
That's a-
Ross would be proud.
Yeah.
Happy little nice.
Little happy trees.
You guys have had a chance to travel. Where's the coolest place that you guys have traveled to?
The garage shop was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, Cleveland?
Yeah, Cleveland was cool.
I grew up in Cleveland. I'm from Cleveland, so
Yeah, that was a cool. It kind of reminded us of the Double Door a little bit.
Yeah, we had
Just the line or the setup and everything.
We had a really good time at that show, which is kind of counterintuitive because there was fucking nobody there. It was a Wednesday night in Cleveland, and it was just us and I think
Sparrow Milk.
Oh, and Great Iron Snake too.
Yeah.
But all those dudes were
Oh,
really, really cool.
You remember that show, but not the Beat Kitchen show.
That was a lot more recent, to be
Yeah.
fair. But then those guys were there, and then also Alexis from Doomstress, which is a label mate of ours on DHU. She was in town because she is the sibling of Tom, the drummer of Sparrow Milk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, they were in town recording, and then we all just hung out and partied and had a great time there. But as far as like how well attended and whatnot, I kind of like Minneapolis. I think
The
Minneapolis is
what was
pretty
that like
awesome.
deli, right? The
Reverie.
Reverie,
Yeah.
which closed down. But that was a
Unfortunately.
really cool place.
So
And it was pretty packed
Yeah.
with what was the local act again?
which time?
The guys who went on tour afterwards for a while. They're doing
Oh,
Sunless.
that was Sunless and Grogus. They were
Yeah.
on a tour together.
Grogus.
Grogus.
You guys fit right in.
So
Sounds sludgy.
yeah,
Now,
they-
sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what was the craziest thing you ate while on tour, or while
His mind's in food now.
Yeah.
Craziest thing we ate?
I just burped. And I'm like, pork tacos.
I don't know. I don't think we ate anything too crazy.
Just cheap.
Yeah.
Just eating sandwiches on the road, really.
Yeah, we tried
just
to
lunch meat, really. That was, but not like we didn't really venture out too much. We were afraid of trying anything new on the road and have to worry about getting bubble guts on the road or something.
Yeah. Last thing you want to be doing is having indigestion in a van full of other dudes.
Yeah.
Close quarters, not good. So,
Where's the furthest that you traveled so far?
Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh's probably the farthest, right?
Yeah,
That was-
at a flower shop.
That was a fucking
What?
bizarre
That was
show.
fucking so weird. It was a dry, safe.
safe space.
Yeah, and it was in the basement of a flower shop, and it was like there was I don't know. I was like my drums were packed, was stuck in the back behind like the furnace, and like the slop sink was behind me.
It's a dirt floor.
Yeah, and it was just it was like uneven. I had like I have a rack, so I was like teeter tottering. I had to put like a 2x4 underneath
God.
there because it was all uneven ground. There was like a bearing post that wasn't even like a 6x6. There was like a tree, like a log, like holding it up, and
Chopped down a branch off the tree in the backyard and like propped it in there. Like, yeah, this'll do. That'll keep him from condemning this fucking joint.
no drinking.
How did that get booked? Who had the thought?
That was
you
the
know?
last minute. We had a show cancel.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
we're gonna instead of having an open night, we decided Mark ended up somehow getting a hold of them, and we ended up getting doing a show over there.
Yeah, I think our Detroit date canceled on us, and Mark just kind of put like an APB out. It's like, hey, we got
Anyone, yeah.
hey, can anybody help us out? And this one girl was nice enough to chime in, and she had no idea who we were or what. She was just trying to help, and I appreciate her for that.
we
But
were
it was
way
the
heavy.
most bizarre gig. I mean, like we opened the show, not us particularly, but like the show itself opened upstairs, and we were all sitting Indian style on the ground listening to a guy in a wheelchair do like folk music.
Oh my God! So then, when you started playing?
Well, then, after us, after that, we went downstairs. There was a band from New York, like a punk rock band, came in there and played in a basement. And then we came in there, and it was loud as fuck in there. And we just like blew everybody away. They were like,
Good.
"Holy
Oh,
shit!"
that's excellent.
And
We
we're
were just
sitting there
like, all
holding our
right,
ears.
let's do this.
Yeah, we still rocked it out, but it was
No,
definitely weird.
it was one for the books for sure. But it was either that or sit in the van all day and do
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah,
you know,
seriously.
Then
so-
he had a toilet that you couldn't flush. Wasn't like a
Right.
sign or
It had
something.
a sign on it, and we were fucking set up. All our gear was right underneath the fucking. They're like, "Oh no, the pipes will break and it'll leak downstairs." I'm like, "That's where all our fucking gear is."
Wow.
It was bizarre.
And it was a dirt floor.
Yeah,
It had outlets down there.
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
and like I said, no drinking, so we just kind of got hammered in the van before and after the show.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember Paul's like, "Yeah, we got merchandise. We have koozies for beer. I mean, for your pops and everything." And,
Well, the thing was too, it's like they talk about it as a safe space, but like as we were watching the punk band from New York, I could hear these kids in the back talking about dropping acid and shit. And I'm like, give me a fucking break. This ain't no safe space. Like, you motherfuckers are sneaking drinks out of a flask or something in the bathroom.
So, I should have asked what was the strangest place you've played, and I'm guessing
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
that.
that.
That's gonna be
Yeah.
it. So, there's been some other pretty strange, I guess, experiences. There was a guy in Minneapolis one time started expressing that he's like, "Man, you guys got some nice gear." He's just standing at the merch table, and we're like, "Yeah, all right, cool, thanks." And he's like, "Yeah, man, it's like if I was still doing meth, man, I'd look to be ripping all this shit off." And I'm just like, "Why the fuck would you tell me that?"
keep an eye on that guy.
Guess who I'm not taking my eyes off of for the rest of the night now.
Please don't steal our stuff.
Yeah.
So there was more to that story, but I don't know if I should say it. It was kind of creepy.
Well, let's cut to a commercial so I can hear the creepy stuff off air, and you can listen to more Faces of the Bog. The next track off of Ego Death, what would you like to play?
Serpent and the Dagger.
Sure.
All right, and more to come about that when we come back in. Enjoy another track.
You're listening to The Metal Experience.
We've assembled a collection of bands who have drummers.
I do magic.
Oh, it's easy if you try, Dick. Now sit back and listen.
I'm Morgan Danielle with Luco Blaze, and before we talk about that track, we are talking about the tasty, delicious beverage Zimas. Trey.
Trey, your story with your first time drinking Zimas.
Yeah, that was the first time I got like sickeningly drunk. Was on two 22-ounce bottles of Zima.
Jesus, they came in 22 ounces?
Yeah, now they only come in those little...
Back in the 90s, they used to have like bomber bottles.
The Zima Magnum.
And I had a 4-pack of those, or not a 4-pack, but I had 4 of them, and I had this trench coat. And my buddy was like, hey, man, it's like my dad's leaving. I don't know, his dad was a cokehead or something. He's like going out to party, and he's like, hey, man, come on over to the house. So I walked like a mile and a half to his house, like trying to non-conspicuously like shuffle these huge fucking bottles inside this coat that it was too fucking warm to wear. So we got to his house, and he had his girlfriend there. She had one, he had one, and I had 2, and I did not feel well afterwards. I didn't eat anything.
Were they cold?
No.
They were warm
Zimas?
I bet they'd be way more refreshing if they were
cold. It was
cold.
pretty bad. I had, like I said, it's the first time I'd had any alcohol, so I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
You run a mission. I don't give a care if it's hot or cold.
I'm gonna get drunk. We gonna do this shit.
So we got
Zima.
One of my buddies for his birthday, a 6er of Zima. He's like, "What the fuck?"
It's a cool little nostalgia thing to buy when they're out.
And then one of my other friends, so it's still there. My buddy Alex, Morgan bought a couple of 6ers of Zima, so I took one out and I hid it in my buddy's fridge.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, so one day he'd be like, "What the fuck?
Where did Zima come from?
That's been in there since 1993."
It's not the first time we put things on his fridge to make him try to see if he's paying attention or not.
But I bought the fridge in 2006.
I always sneak stuff either into or on my buddy's fridge.
Or car.
Or his car. One of them being the Zima. So I found like these pictures in something that was abandoned. There was like pictures, and I was trying to find out who it was, whatever, give them back. But whatever, they wouldn't come and pick up these pictures. So you're looking through them, and there's this chick, and it's like she's wearing this kind of see-through shirt. So you could like see her, you could see the outline of her tits, and you can kind of like see. But it was like she was kind of weird looking. I don't know, whatever. So I'm like, I fucking brought it home, and I'm Morgan. Next time we go to Al's, I'm totally putting this on his fridge. So I put it on his fridge. He didn't notice for like a week.
Really?
Finally, he was like, because he has a bunch of other stuff on it, other pictures and random crap on his fridge. He's like, "Who the fuck is this? Who is this a picture of on my fridge?"
Why is there titties on my fridge?
Totally confused. He still has that picture. It's like in one of the drawers in his kitchen.
Oh my god!
But he took it off his fridge, but he was totally confused. I don't think I ever told him. I was just like, "Hey, did Al ever figure out the picture on his fridge?" It's like, yeah, he was totally confused about it. He was wondering where it came from.
What's the best prank you guys have ever played on someone?
I had a coworker who, so it became a dumb running joke. He had a cowskin rug in his apartment, and so he invited us over for a work party, and we just like, "Why do you have a cowskin rug?" We just like made fun of him nonstop for having a cowskin rug, and it became like the sort of running gag where we like kept doing all these pranks that had something to do with cows. So one day we just completely covered his office with cow stuff. So we got like cow wrapping paper and covered the walls with it. We got like, you can get on Amazon these things that are like they voice detect, and whenever they hear any sound they move, and we like filled his drawers with them. And I can't remember, but yeah, pretty much just like every cow thing. I think we got like we got hay actually, and we like put a little bale of hay in it, yeah.
Jeez.
So just
awesome.
we cowed out his office.
Nice. He probably loved it.
I've never seen him. So I think he was legit angry, like not like joking angry. Like he
I'm
was
going
not
to
happy.
murder
He
you.
actually was going to murder us for like a small period of time. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Oh my goodness.
Anyone else? Any good pranks?
I don't have any good ones.
I have one. I didn't pull it, but I was there when it happened. There was a guy that had a service truck at work, and I don't know if you know anything about older Irish tradesmen, but the word homophobe has their picture right next to it. like you can't even don't touch me. You know, it's like this guy was like, yeah, you almost had the wonder. It's like, dude, come on, you know, you hanging out in North Halstead later? What are you hiding? So anyway, those like. You see like the mud flaps that the truckers have that have like the girl outline, like the silhouette, you know, with them sitting in like a sexy position or whatever. Well, anyway, somebody found one that had a cowboy that was in freedom colors. It was a magnet, and they put it on his service truck, and it was on there for like 2 weeks before he finally noticed it, and he went fucking ballistic. And he's like, who put that? How long have I been driving down there? He started freaking the fuck. And then when they told him it's been like 2 weeks, and it's like, oh my God, how many people in my fucking neighborhood probably think I'm fucking gay now? And it's like, dude, it's like 2011. It's fine. You know, nobody cares. Not in his neighborhood, apparently.
Oh, man.
And no one bothered to tell him.
Speaking of the hot chick decal, so I found a fat chick decal.
So that same decal.
But it's a fat chick.
Hey, everybody needs love, man. Come on.
I put them on every automobile I've owned for the last like 10 years.
Nice.
We found them in...
No, for the past 6.
All right, for the past 6. Close to 10.
It's past the halfway point.
Yeah, past the halfway point. I found them...
Enough that he found them once, thought they were great, and bought
Hilarious.
more the next time he went back to the same truck stop.
I like how she said thought they were great.
At the same time, I'm looking at him going, what are you trying to say?
They're just funny. So I've had them on 3 automobiles and 1 Honda Ruckus.
Oh,
Honda
man.
Ruckus.
You put were they like little tiny ones on the
No.
on like the sides? Okay, all right.
I have my car here. It's on my car.
Some guy complimented him on it on a motorcycle.
That's a big deal for a motorcycle rider to compliment a Honda Ruckus.
I had this
rider.
shitty purple Saturn that was like 8 colors because it was all fucked up. And thing was a trooper, though. And I'm driving down Route 83 right over here, and this biker guy pulls up next to me. He's like, sweet fat girl sticker. Where'd you get that at? I was like, yes.
Somebody's into chubby girls.
Yeah. It's just
Not
fucking
chubby.
dumb and funny. It's just dumb and funny. I don't know. So I've been putting them on all my automobiles.
It's not. There's no hate. There's no judgment. It's just it's just great all around. It's just great.
I'm a goofy guy. If you knew me, you'd be like, "Oh, that's funny."
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
He's a weirdo.
With the outrage culture that's going on these days, it's hard to step outside the lines now. You know, it's hard to know what to do, what's okay and what's not okay. So
Sometimes in my rearview mirror, also I see people taking pictures of it from their.
can you believe this motherfucker?
We're just like pointing and laughing.
Hilarious.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I put it on there because it's hilarious.
Well, before we got off on Zimas and fat chick stickers, that was The Serpent and the Dagger by Faces of the Bog off Ego Death. I know he's not here to talk about it, but do you have any idea what he wrote that about? Or how do you interpret?
The lyrics are in here.
Yeah. I'm failing miserably at this.
And it's not. I don't think I have been in a band where I have known all of my singer's lyrics. I don't. I think I think that's very common to just not know what.
Yeah, this one is like it's like the ritual. You know, like after he the character, I guess you could say, experiences like this hardship and kind of goes off into the woods to find himself. And when he's starting to reflect on, you know, where the problems in his life are coming from or whatnot, he meets this witch in the woods, and she gives him a potion, psychedelics.
Ooh.
And, this is kind of the story of that kind of coming about, and then it leads into the next song that, I don't know, maybe we'll listen to a little later on, where he actually has an ego death. Some of you will know, some of you don't. But,
So what's
read up
an
on it.
ego death?
It's just what it sounds like, basically. It's like if you have a high enough dose of a psychedelic, you have what's called an ego death, and it's basically like... this is a very hard thing to explain if you haven't been through it.
Urban Dictionary it.
Maybe that's the best way to go.
The authority on psychedelics.
The foremost authority.
What is ego death?
You basically almost die during your experience.
Complete loss of subjective self-identity. The term is used in various intertwined contexts with related meanings. In Jungian psychology, the synonymous term psychic death is used, which
4
refers to a
paragraphs
fundamental
later.
transformation of the psyche.
I didn't know she was done talking. In her
Yep,
head.
exactly what she said.
I love my phone. Okay.
Who
And it-
was that was talking?
Is that Siri?
That's Siri.
Uh,
Or is
I
it
don't have an Apple.
Was it Cortana? Was it
I guess whatever the
Alexa?
fuck her name is.
Whatever.
I don't know.
Siri, what's my name?
Snoop
You're Luco, but you asked me to call you Cunt Smasher.
What is that? What was that?
I'll ask one more. Siri, what's my name?
You're Luco, but since we're friends, I get to call you Cunt Smasher.
Cunt smasher.
Oh my god! How did you get her to do that?
By smashing that cunt.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
Life hack.
Ask a stupid question. You get a,
I don't remember, but my buddy was like, it's. He told Siri something like, make him call him Jedi Master Brian. I'm like, whoa, how do you get to Siri to do that?
Yeah.
And he told me, and this was like
3
I had that
years
phone
ago.
for like 3 years, so I don't know. So now he's like, hey, make Siri call you Cunt Smasher. I was like, awesome. So now Siri, because we're friends, gets to call me Cunt Smasher.
Nice.
wow.
But anyway,
I don't live up to it, but you
yeah.
know.
It's a pretty terrifying experience. But also, if you can kind of mentally digest and unpack everything that's there, it's a very beneficial experience as well. So,
Well, fuck, now I kind of want to listen to some Ego
I want to
Death.
listen to it.
The
Let's
titular track.
Play it.
All right, Ego Death off of Ego Death by Ego Death.
Faces of the Bog.
Say, old boy, are you up for some heavy metal? Have you heard the Metal Experience? No. With Luco Blaze and Whippersnapper? Oh, yes, and the ravishing and dashing Morgan. Oh, yes. Well, tune in to themetalexperience.com for some heavy metal. Yes, there's muscles in the speakers. Smashing Metal Experience.
All right. We are
Yep.
back. That was Ego Death, the titular track off Ego Death by Faces of the Bog. What a trip.
Ego Death by Ego Death of Ego Death.
Charlotte Hornets versus
Charlotte Hornets.
Woo!
So, all right. Should be a well-known fact now that my favorite movie is Predator. What is your guys' favorite movie of all time ever?
I was worried you were going to ask that. Yeah.
And you had every time to prep in that time thinking about it.
No, because I was worried that you were going to ask that. And I started thinking about it. So the movie I have seen more than any other movie is Fight Club, but
That's a good one.
But it's
Nice
it's kind of
choice.
because like it's definitely way better the younger you are, and like the older you get, the more ridiculous you realize Fight Club is. So I don't know that it's my favorite movie anymore, but it's the movie I've seen more than any other movie.
That's a good answer.
Wow, I don't know either. There's so many. I think go back childhood, and one of them is probably because you mentioned seen so many times. Is probably Stand By Me.
Okay.
I remember like reciting it, going on vacation with my cousins, and like you're Gordy, you're Vern, you're Teddy. Okay, I'm gonna be Vern, and you go on, and then you like reciting from word for word at the time.
I would have to go. I think I'm gonna have to do a tie between The Big Lebowski and Snatch.
Nice.
There you go. So
We were just talking about the Big Lebowski on
That's a great
Sunday.
movie too.
Yeah.
The
Those-
dude
Snatch?
abides.
yes, he does.
So you don't have like a. I'm like boom. Predator.
No.
Boom.
No,
Halloween.
that's too many.
No.
Halloween, and then like
That's
everywhere after that, it's like Big Trouble in Little China, The Thing.
Oh, those are good.
And like you see the kind of the all John Carpenter movies.
We were talking rock movies. What's your favorite rock movie?
The Rock.
No, I know.
Or Rocky.
Which
is my
This
favorite
could go
Rocky?
two ways.
Which mummy movie is your favorite? Yeah.
Which mummy movie? The second one?
Rocky
Damn.
4 if we're going Rocky movies. The Rock movies. Oh man.
This took a turn.
There's so many terrible ones.
The Rock, like
The
with Sean
Rundown.
Connery.
No.
The Rock.
It's not what your mother said last night,
Or like
Alex.
rocking.
Yeah, like what rock documentary or
rock-
doesn't have to be
Oh,
documentary.
rock
Yeah,
music.
yeah, or like movie about like Almost
Rock-
Famous or something like
Rock
that.
and roll, not The Rock and or
Yes,
rock.
believe it or not, that's
Crack
what I was
rock?
talking about. Believe it or not,
New Jack City.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
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 Crack rock.
What's your favorite rock and roll documentary, Morgan?
Documentary?
Some kind of monster.
No.
It doesn't have to be documentary. Like think of like Almost Famous or something like
okay.
that about like
Ooh. Oh, like a music.
or yeah, something that has to do with music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
As we were discussing earlier, mine is Anvil, the story of Anvil. I love
That was
movie.
really good. Yeah.
It's
I
just
got
a great movie.
really high and watched heavy metal and thought that was pretty
Like
interesting.
the
That's
original one from the
awesome.
80s?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah,
I
definitely.
remember
Yeah.
tripping to that.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun.
I've never seen that.
No?
No.
It's crazy.
It's a
I need
comic
to.
book too,
Yeah,
right?
it was like a graphic
Yeah.
novel, I think, or something.
I like Rockstar.
That's a good movie.
Rockstar's good. The soundtrack
I
is even
really
better.
like the soundtrack, and I know it's not really him singing, but there was just when I watched that movie, it was just it's so good. And I love Mark Wahlberg, and that story is great.
It's a great story. Yeah.
Man, I don't know. What did I say again? Oh, heavy metal. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know if I would say it was my favorite, but I had a good time when I watched it.
No Spinal Tap?
Spinal Tap is good.
Spinal Tap, yeah. Yeah.
That's not my favorite, but
I'm just trying to
I have
think,
seen
like, go through my list. I've got my stupid DVD collection.
Oh, there's Airheads.
That's a
Ooh,
great
Airheads
that's
is
a great
great.
music movie,
The Runaways.
I don't own the Runaways.
I own
Morgan.
the Runaways, of course. Josie and the Pussycats. Come on, guys.
I definitely don't own that one.
What was,
I do.
What was the documentary that I think Dave Grohl did it about the studio that like all the big '90s bands.
Yeah.
And shit. What the fuck was the name of that?
I can't remember what it's called, but I remember what you're talking about. Yeah.
Hold on. Let me ask my Google phone. Google, what is the Dave Grohl
Was it Music City?
documentary?
Or
She's not going to talk. She's just going to pull up
Siri
Chris's
would have
time.
known the answer. Yeah.
Siri would have answered.
Siri would have known the answer. Sorry, Google phone.
well, whatever that movie was, I have to say, like I got emotional at the end of that movie. I was like, damn, like they're not shutting it down, are they? It's like I don't know. They had me on that one hook, line, and sinker. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I'd have to say that one. I was into that one. So.
Yeah, there's
it's not about Foo Fighters. It's about a studio.
No. Because Dave Grohl, I think I don't know if he funded it or directed it, but he bought the board out of the studio itself and put it like in his house. But it was the board in the studio that like Rage Against the Machine cut their debut album on. Fleetwood Mac did a bunch of shit there.
Sound City.
Sound City, that's what it was. Yes.
And it's a movie. It's not a.
It's a documentary.
Was it an HBO special? No, that was with Foo Fighters. They were like traveling around doing a bunch of like music things.
I want to say this was on Netflix.
Oh, cool.
At one point, I don't know if it still is, but
yeah, it
was really good though.
There's a lot of great, like, really small music documentaries. Like, I think it was either like Vice or Noisy did a whole like a multi-part documentary about like New Orleans metal, talking about like Ex-Hoarder and Acid Bath and all those.
Oh God, was it the Slow Southern Steel?
Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Okay,
yeah,
and it's excellent. And
that
like,
was really
it's just
good.
like on YouTube, and it's just fucking excellent.
They actually did that as a tour.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah,
Oh,
this was probably you and I went to this at Reggie's. They showed the movie, and then Zoroaster and Hail Hornet and somebody else played afterwards.
That's right. I think
Like
I remember that.
they brought chairs out into the rock club, and we all watched the movie, like 2 hours of the movie, and then they had
that's so cool.
they had some of the bands that were in the movie
That's
were
really
touring
cool.
with them. It was badass.
Yeah, it's good times for.
No, it wasn't Weed Eater. Weed Eater was in the movie, but it wasn't.
Okay.
They didn't play, I don't think.
It's good times for documentaries about metal.
Agreed.
I am still trying to think of like a fucking. I'm trying to think of going through my fucking.
See, me, I don't know about
collection.
rock, but I don't know if we consider rock. It's kind of a kid's movie, but like Labyrinth with David Bowie. That soundtrack is pretty
that's
good.
killer,
That's a
dude.
good.
Oh, it's
I used to love
actually-
that movie. I watched
That's
the
a
shit
great
out of that.
movie.
Yeah,
Look, just say Metalocalypse.
with Magic Dance.
Oh, anything.
Need to watch
yeah.
that again
Love
on
metal.
mushrooms.
Yeah.
Metalocalypse is just great.
Another show I've never seen.
Are
you'd
you
love
kidding?
It. Oh, you'd absolutely
Oh.
love it.
No,
That's right up your
I don't
alley,
watch-
Trey.
I don't watch a hell of a lot of TV these days, unfortunately.
No, you should definitely watch Metalocalypse, though.
Just,
I
yeah.
will put it on the list.
It's so brutal.
It is. Super brutal.
I see all the memes, and I'm like, I just feel like I'm not part of this club.
But the thing is, you would immediately get immersed in it
You
because there's
would.
like all these little references that like if you like metal, you just pick
Yeah.
up on all of them, and it's
Nice.
It's just a great experience.
It is great.
And Brendan Small's an incredible guitar talent.
And the music is so good in
He's
it
great.
too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Fuck, like
I'll have to add it to the very long list of
when I go
things.
home, I'm just gonna look through like all of them and be like, all right, that's it. But I didn't think of it. Like, oh, the fuck could I not think of that?
Sure, yeah.
Well, the song Slow Burn is on Ego Death, and I really want to hear how you guys remade it since I heard it back in 2012 on your first demo that you brought us.
Okay.
Is that okay to play?
It's only about half of the one that's on the demo, basically. So, but it's a little better production, a little bit. Since it's not live at the Elbow Room.
Revamped.
All right, here we go. An oldie and a goodie, Slow Burn.
not rock and roll.
Goddamn right. This is the Metal Experience, and now back to Morgan and Luco.
I point at you all day. Point right in your face. Morgan, we're waiting. Morgan, what did we hear?
Slow burn.
Morgan, introduce what's going on in
Are
the
you
world.
joking right now?
What's up?
Well, we're back with the Metal Experience.
About time. It's about time, Morgan.
That was Slow
Back in
Burn
black.
off of Ego Death by Faces of the Bog. Any insight as to how you
She's gonna keep
went
asking.
about and changed up the song and why you decided to do that from before?
Oh, you mean from the old version
Yes.
that nobody at home knows what the hell we're talking about? Yes. It was kind of the 3-minute intro or whatever it was that was on the front end of that. We just kind of decided, like, you know, that's a good piece, and the back end is a good piece, but they're kind of two different songs, and there's really no reason for them to be played together. With the one's not really helping the other. It's like to add them together is just to make the song longer, and like we didn't feel that was a constructive thing to do, I guess, for the album. So we just decided to trim that front part off, and I feel weird talking about this because nobody knows what the hell I'm talking about. It's like, what are you talking about?
The whole
What?
song was riffage. I think we were
Yeah.
good at making
Too many
riffs,
damn riffs
but
in
not
that
like,
song.
okay, there's
The
just
demo
riff and riff
version.
and riff. Like, where's the song going? What's going on?
Yeah.
And just trimming some fat off and trying to
So-
get something of it.
Did the original in beginning turn into something else?
Yeah, that song turned into Slow Burn. That's on the album.
Okay, then the
So-
end part of the original.
Oh, I'm sorry. The first half, no. That's
It got scrapped.
That's sitting in limbo somewhere. So I'm sorry, I misunderstood your question.
Gotcha. Sitting in limbo. Well, speaking of sitting in limbo,
If anybody wants to hear Slow Burn live at the Elbow Room, go back and listen to our interview in 2012.
It's floating around on the internet
Go to the archives.
somewhere.
And we were talking about this too. It's a very entertaining interview. We prank called a porn store.
trying to get industrial size
I
lube.
Seriously,
enough lube.
have never laughed so hard during a show. I felt so uncomfortable being in a room full of men calling porn stores in my life. But it was all good fun.
That was-
Asking about the possibility of glory holes.
Oh, of
and-
course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, it's, well, fucking go big or go home, you know?
That shit, I remember like crying.
I was dying. It was hard to just
Laughing
keep
so
quiet
hard.
because we were just so overwhelmed.
Everyone had a
with-
mic right in front of them,
It
so
was
it's
great.
like to try not to laugh
Yeah.
while he's doing this prank call.
Well, we didn't have a lot going on musically, so we had to entertain some other ways.
That's true.
I don't think we ever did find out who sold industrial size tubs of KY though.
I'm sure Google could help out on that.
now,
Right
now,
now, yeah.
But back
in 2012, it
Back
was
in
tough.
2012.
2012, Google was in its infancy, so or at least
Actually, I'm gonna look up and see if I could find industrial size.
my phone
containers
didn't
of-
have
And
Google.
why
back
do you
then.
need to find that right now? Because
Just
you
to
have
see how much it
something
was.
you need to do. Are you ready?
Morgan, set it up.
Now it's time for
Hey man, look what I found.
Only on the Metal Experience.
All right, this week and every week is always brought to you by our friends at Imprint Recordings. Your music, your imprint. Visit imprintrecordings.com for more information for all your recording needs. Woo! All right, this week we have from Culiacan, Sinaloa, Mexico. Yeah, somewhere in Mexico that I can't pronounce. I do apologize. Centauro. Centauro. Also, I cannot pronounce that. I do apologize. Oh, metal music. So brutal. This song is called Sentencia de Muerte. Muerte. From their 8th album and their latest released album, Dono Collateral. And the lyrics are all in Spanish. The CD was released, physical copies, June 30th for both Mexican distributor Ablaze Productions and the band via their Bandcamp. The album was made available digitally on April 21st. So, Morgan, let's play Centuro with the song Sentencia de Muerte. I'm so white.
Hey, this is Danny from Eileen Shit, and we don't appreciate you assuming our gender.
You're listening to us on the Metal Experience. Go fight them.
Woo! That was metal as fuck. That was a band, Centuro from Mexico, with the song. What is it in English?
Death Sentence in English.
Death
was
Sentence.
Sentencia de Muerte?
That's it. And that was off their 8th album, Dano Collateral. Is that? I'm saying that totally wrong.
Give Us Collateral? What?
Give Us DANO.
I guess.
Give Us Collateral?
I don't know.
All right.
Don't know.
Well, fuck yeah. That, again, was brought to you by Imprint Recordings. Visit imprintrecordings.com if you're a band in need of recording or any recording needs. Whew. Well, we are rocking
Audio
out here.
only.
No. She had to throw that in there.
No videos.
Just because we've been on some risque topics, I want to make sure we say audio only.
The KY jelly topic, which we did find gigantic drums of jelly.
Yeah, I
The
don't know
lubricant
what it
kind.
is about giant drums of anal lube that we just
And
seem
this
to
band,
keep coming
yeah.
back to on this show.
Yeah.
We should really quick.
Every band has a thing.
I found it. Here is part of the prank phone call that we did to that porn store so long ago.
Talking to you. How are you?
Good, how are you? I'm great. How are you? Who is this? Mom?
Don't sound creepy.
He said, Mom.
Mom, is this you?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know what this is.
I was like, wait a minute, that's not
I was
us.
like, there's somebody's mom. All right, I'll find it later.
That's all right.
That was weird.
It's like, this is going to get really weird really
Wow.
fast.
I don't remember that part.
It's like,
we'll
Mom,
find
where'd you
it.
put the big old tub of lube?
Yeah, right.
Mom, did you find my lube?
No, the big tub.
So where are your next shows that you guys are playing?
We actually have absolutely fucking nothing going on right now. We do have a soft date at Sound Growler Brewing.
Ooh, where's that?
That is in Tinley Park off of 183rd Street.
Really cool place.
Super cool place. They actually just had their 1-year anniversary a few weeks ago. And it was almost like a mini Dark Lord Day. They did a hell of a job with it. So if you're in that area, go pay them a visit because they play heavy music and they have their own craft beers, which they make all right there. They're all very good. And they have some fucking legit
Tacos.
Mexican food there.
Ooh.
It's like 3 of my favorite things. So,
Sounds like we know where to go next time we're at the Tinley Park show.
so yeah, we don't have a solid date on that, but they have agreed to terms, so to speak. We're just waiting for them to find another band, and then we'll sort something out. Pale Horseman actually has built a really good relationship with those guys and has kind of held our hand in communicating with them and whatnot. So shout out to those guys.
Their beer they just came up with over there too.
Oh yeah, their beer. They had a beer release too. They made a beer for Pale Horseman, and it won a fucking award. And
Damn.
yeah, it was pretty serious.
Pretty legit.
That is really
So-
cool.
It was good though. I've had many of them that night. So
And where can everyone find everything that is Faces of the Bog on the Information Superhighway?
we have a Facebook. You can just type us into the search bar, Faces of the Bog, or you can go to www.facesofthebog.bandcamp.com. And between those two sites, you should pretty much be able to find everything we have to offer. So, vinyl, T-shirts, merch, music,
cassettes.
Yes, cassettes.
Do we? I don't think we have the cassettes for sale online. Do we?
I don't know. I'm not too sure.
You have to come to the show.
Yeah,
for
come
one
to
of
the show
those.
to get that. Save that for the
Come see us,
VIPs.
please. We're lonely.
Keyword
It's been a
time.
long time.
Well, some announcements for this week, going into next week. Sunday, Metal Church Sundays, that awesome thing that Cobra Lounge does. This Sunday, we'll have performances by... This keeps moving.
It's
Stupid
technically
phone.
Monday morning.
Yeah. The Hidden Conspiracy, Charis, Endostalgia, and Bloodletter. And it also includes some ticket giveaways. Not sure what shows. It looks like Head PE and Orgy
Head PE still
Really?
playing?
Head PE
They're playing-
plays every year.
They're playing.
Wow.
They're playing the Forge. I know.
Yeah.
Orgy's still a band?
Orgy
I didn't know
is still
Orgy
around.
was.
Blue October is still around too. I saw
What?
footage of them on stage
Who?
the other day. Blue October.
Who?
Really?
Who?
Aren't they the band that says Scotty doesn't know? Isn't that Blue
Are they?
October?
I heard of them. I just.
They're a
I'll
lot
show
more
you
tell you
later.
what-
You'll know
PE,
them.
though.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Scotty
They're
doesn't
weird.
know from the
Yeah.
Eurotrip soundtrack?
Eurotrip soundtrack. Brower House tomorrow night out in Lombard is having Our Friends and Everything Must Die. It's still $10 advance online and $12 at the door. And they're playing with Insight from Arizona and Aether, and they are from Los Angeles.
Wait, does
Not
that,
Los Angeles, California.
Does that
Bay
band
Area.
still have Matt Damon as their vocalist?
No, you fool.
Jason
Wraith
Bourne?
has a cassette out right now for their new album that they released called Heed the Warning. Go check it out. It's on their Bandcamp or the Rapid Fire Records website. Orinoco is playing a show this Saturday with Her Worst Nightmare and Impale with the reunion of Stab Twist Pull. And that's going to be out at Redmond's Pub in Chicago. It's a $5 donation. Starts at 7. And
Stab Twist Pull had another very interesting shirt.
Yeah,
that,
they did.
Oh my lord.
I'll tell
John Wayne Gacy is a clown.
Oh,
It was
God.
great.
John
Um,
holding like balloons or something, and I was like,
yeah.
Stab Twist Pull. It's like, that's kind of.
I kept it in my closet
wow.
for so long, going, maybe I'll wear this, and I'm like, I'm never wearing this.
Didn't Acid Bath put
Yeah, I
like
was gonna
that
say,
painting on
yeah.
their one of their album covers? I
Yeah.
believe.
Wouldn't put it past him.
Stab Twist Pull came on the show when we were in the city still.
Mhm.
They had shirts, and they ran across the street, just some random like couple, and they're like, hey, we're in this band. Do you want a shirt? And they're like, okay.
The looks on
And
their
it was
faces,
this
they
John
turn-
Wayne Gacy shirt
Oh my god, wow.
that they gave away to just some random people walking down the street.
They probably went home and had an argument about it.
They probably threw it at the next trash can they saw.
Yeah, or took like 10 steps and threw it away.
Want to give a shout out to our friends out in Wyoming, the Small Town Mentality podcast. They just put up a picture today. I tagged the bands of all the stickers that we sent them on their Hall of Fame wall, they like to call it. They've been running a commercial and a sweeper that we made for them throughout their podcast now. So check them out. They're funny. They've got a lot of cool topics and do little interviews with locals on their podcast. So Small Town Mentality Podcast. They are on iTunes and they have a website and everything. They're really cool.
Morgan, when are you going to get us on iTunes? All right,
Fuck
see you later.
When you have more time than I do. Synovial has officially hit 29,000 music videos views for their newest video 525 and 525. I should be calling it the number that it is. And it has over 1,300 plays on Spotify. So they are going to be on the show with us next week. Come on out and hang out with us, and we'll be at Fitz's Spare Keys.
Someone really likes one of their songs.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, not next week. The following week. We have Vice on next week. But they're on
Oh,
this month.
come on,
They're on
Morgan.
next month. Or this
Come
month. This
on.
month. Damn it. Wookfest had Heartland Animal Shelter out at their past event back in June, and they shared that they are doing an event this weekend to clear the shelters. So that is an event where there's no adoption fees for an animal. So go out to clear the shelters in Northbrook and go adopt a new fuzzy friend. Heartland Animal Shelter is participating in that this weekend. Also, Eddie and the Arsons had their song, What's Happening to Me, featured on WGN News. How awesome is that? Congratulations, Eddie and the Arsons. That's pretty cool.
On the That's pretty cool. news?
On the news. Just as like music. That's pretty cool. Just to write in your calendars now, Saturday, September 8th, the Doom Room is having the Doom Saloon, the 3rd annual barn burner, featuring Soul Hacker, The Unlawful, F&, Epic, Heist of the Century, Reckless Inc., and Johnny Try Hard. And it's going to be starting at 2:30. Bands start at 6, and there's a $5 donation, and there's food available as well. Check that out. They are awesome. Doom Room does great shows down in the Lafayette area, so definitely check them out.
So real quick, back to those
Fuzzy friends, you want to adopt a dog? Perfect.
Do they have the Target dog?
I don't know,
A
Luco.
bull terrier?
We can go see.
I just like because they're so ugly. I love them.
We can go see.
Spuds McKenzie.
On Saturday, if you're free,
dated
let's go see if
myself
we
there.
can adopt a doggy.
Spuds.
Our friends in Townsend are going to be playing a few shows coming up here. August 24th, they're playing The Wire out in Berwyn. And then they go to Rothschild, Wisconsin on the 25th to play Coral Lanes. The 26th, they'll be at Cronies at Manchester Park, Illinois. And then a couple more dates coming up in September, which we'll talk about later in September. New song is out from our friends and Victims. The last song that they're
Noob?
going to... New song, Tapeworm, is on their website, Victims Official. The new album is dropping August 31st, so that's the last single that they're playing before the album comes out. So be sure to check that out. August 18th, also Blood of the Wolf and Suffering Hour are going to be playing Club Garibaldi's in Milwaukee.
That's a restaurant.
Wisconsin. It's in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So I don't know if it's a pizza place
It's a pizza place.
or if it's, I don't know, whatever.
I hope it's a pizza place.
Also, Friday, August 31st, the Doom Room is helping at North End Pub. They put together Eyes Set to Kill, playing with Catalytic and Dayshell and Chuggernaut. That sounds pretty cool. $10 cover.
Juggernaut.
And also happening, Luco's playing a show this Saturday. Hey, Luco, you don't know what's your show. Luco's
No
playing
idea.
Cairo Ale House with, wait for it,
Okay.
Deprimacy.
Okay.
And you're playing with Central Disorder.
Okay.
And I don't know who else.
That sounds pretty fucking cool. Hey, I'll fucking be there.
Something like that.
Hey, thanks for showing up.
Very cool.
Pre-sale tickets for Forever Death Fest is coming out this Friday. That is an awesome music
Might just
festival
check-
happening
just check that show out.
on December 7th and 8th at the Beat Kitchen in Chicago. We're helping sponsor Destroying Ears One Riff at a Time by Chicago for Chicago, all Chicago. And it also features bands from Prosthetic Records. I'm pretty sure that's the second day, December 8th. But bands are still to be announced. I have the inside, and it's going to be awesome. So definitely keep your eyes and ears open for that announcement soon. But definitely check out Forever Death Fest and get your pre-sale tickets this weekend now while you still can, because that festival in Beat Kitchen is for sure to sell out. And like I said, next week, Made the Mistake, Vice is coming on.
Vice,
And
V-I-C-E.
then Synovio the following week. V-Y-S-E. What? You didn't know how to spell.
Those guys are crazy.
Dang, girlfriend.
So we're going to have them out for their first time. So you can come out to Fitz and Spear Keys, hang out with us from 8 p.m. till about 10:30, 11, whenever we wrap up.
And we'll spell some words.
Words. We should. We should have a spelling bee again. Haven't had one of those in a while.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we still have a couple more tracks to play from Faces of the Bog. That you guys want to end a couple tracks for the night. And then the rest of the album, you can hear Ego Death off of what media platforms do you have available to stream the album?
It's on all the major ones: iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, all that shit. YouTube. It's all out there. So you could find it pretty much anywhere you want to if you want to do all that computer stuff.
Rocking out. So everything we heard tonight was off of Ego Death. So check out Ego Death by Faces of the Bog. Oh, man. And actually, just pick up the CD. Just pick up the CD. It's fucking sweet.
Hold it in your hands. Order a vinyl. Order a cassette. Support the scene. Get a physical copy. Those are better than
Get
the
physical.
digital files that could always get deleted.
Yeah, the vinyl has more content inside. As far
Oh.
as we had a little bit more room to print a little bit more stuff in there.
Well, it's
so-
just larger.
Yeah, so a little more real estate. So
That's what she
Larger
said.
is better. What are
That's what she
the
said.
last two tracks tonight that you would like to feature for everybody to hear off of Ego Death?
Anybody?
I don't know what's left.
Well,
I believe Drifter. I don't think we want to play Precipice. That's more of an intro type thing.
Maybe Blue Lotus.
Blue Lotus, Drifter, and Blue Lotus.
all right. And then you can find everything else that is Faces of the Bog through the profile on Facebook. And then you'll have the link to the show.
Whoa, Drifter in the Abyss.
Yes.
That's
So
what
I'll
we're
put
going to
that
be
out there.
playing.
Sorry.
Drifter in the Abyss.
Not the cool short.
We're going with the working stage title.
This one's
Actually,
called D.
like-
Call it D.
You should hear what they
like
call
DA,
some of these other songs.
D and the A.
D and the A.
I believe one of the. I believe this song actually, "Drifter in the Abyss," was
D and the A.
working title for this one at one time was "Thunder Cunt." So
That's right.
Nice.
We have some pretty good temp names.
Monster Dump,
Baby Seal.
Baby Seal. Yeah, that was another one because it sounded like a baby seal getting clubbed. Don't come after us. Don't come after us.
We love
PETA.
seals. We really do.
Yeah, we do not harm animals. No animals were harmed in the recording of this album.
So we're gonna hear some D in the A
Just feelings.
and some Blue Lotus.
Sounds great. Thanks, guys, so much for coming back. Let's make it
Sooner.
earlier rather
Yeah, a little
than
sooner.
Yeah.
Let's not make another
later.
6 years.
Yeah.
Let's,
Let's not do that
sounds
again.
Sweet. See you guys in 6 years.
Thanks for having us.
No, I'm not in a band anymore, but I figured I'd stop by.
2024, Faces of the Bog will return. But in the meantime, here's Drifter in the Abyss and Blue Lotus off Ego Death one last time. Good night.